So, folks, your, lifelong ambition has been finally fulfilled. You are now one of the most powerful men in the entire world. You are, in fact, President of the United States of America. You have tons of money. You have a dedicated, almost cult-like fan base. And, you've got everything a rich person might want. You even have a solid gold toilet. And yet, one thing constantly plagues you, and it is the allegation that perhaps you might be a pedophile or, pretty okay with pedophilia. Now, of course, this troubles you constantly, all day, every day, because everyone's finally talking about the fact that, one, they hate you, and two, that your best friend is one of the most infamous pedophile sex traffickers of modern times. Anyway, you decide to relax a little bit, unwind, and you go look at one of your favorite games in the whole world, tennis. And lucky you get front row seats. You get to go see the US Open. And you just get booed mercilessly the entire time. And you're sad about this. You're sad. So you want to go out and make a public appearance to make yourself seem like you're relatable. And not only are you relatable, you're not the kind of guy who would ever abuse a child or even an adult woman. So you go out and you say something really thoughtful, like,
there's no crime. They said crime's down 87%. I said, no. It's more than 87%. Virtually nothing. And much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. They'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say, this was a crime, see? So now I can't claim 100%. There's no crime.
Yeah, people don't call fights in the home crimes unless you're beating your wife. It's not a crime to argue with your partner. It is a crime to beat your wife, though. And it's pretty weird for someone who doesn't want to seem like a predator to come out and say something like, actually, it's totally fine to, no crimes that occur in the home count. If you don't count domestic abuse, we reduce the crime by 100%. Like, that's what he's talking about. It's crazy. And, you're this powerful man. And it turns out that in order to protect yourself, you've been saying that, well, my best friend who abused, yes, he did abuse a lot of women and children sexually, and also sell them like they were objects to his rich friends. But it's all a hoax. All of it is a hoax. It's all none of it's real. None of it's real, everybody. It's all fake. And then a bunch of the women who were abused come forward, and they're not too happy about it.
We are tired of looking at the news and seeing Jeffrey Epstein's name and saying that this is a hoax. We are tired of it.
I talked to President Trump back in 2009, and several times after that, he didn't think that it was a hoax then. In fact, he helped me. He got on the phone. He told me things that were helping our investigation. Now, our investigation wasn't looking into him, but he was helping us then. He didn't treat this as a hoax.
I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends.
He should not be calling this a hoax because it just sets on fire the entire, set of beliefs that he's got something to hide personally. Otherwise, why on earth would he call this a hoax? I just don't understand why any Republican would want to do anything that looks like they're covering this up, because this is unless there's something really, really to hide in these files for Donald Trump.
We are tired of.
Huh. Yeah, it does seem kind of like that, huh? Now, of course, you are this rich, powerful man, and, you know, you're president of the United States, and suddenly one of your friends, one of your allies, has a story written in their newspaper about how you wrote a card to this child molester years ago? And, well, obviously that is lies and slander to the lawsuit mobile. And you go and you rev up the engine of that lawsuit mobile and you start gunning it for that publication. You sue them for $10 billion for the defamatory nature of that accusation. And then we come to today, where the Wall Street Journal posted the letter, the love letter that Donald Trump sent to Jeffrey Epstein. And I'm just gonna like show the image here because I feel like it is really revealing. Voiceover. There must be more to life than having everything. Donald. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Donald. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? Jeffrey. As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. Donald J. Trump. And that is, in fact, his signature. And I want to ask you guys if you notice anything, because when I saw this, I immediately became so much more creeped out than the image I had in my head, right? Because, I mean, this is a child's form, right? This is a child. Yeah, I immediately thought it was a child. Exactly. Like, it's really gross. And I just want to, like, point out here, and I know that this is, like, just a comedic hee-hee ha-ha thing, but we have we have, like, what perhaps a predatory character might do when it comes to a sketch of, you know, when it comes to a sketch of, like, oh, you like ladies, grown adult ladies? Well, hell, here's me showing how I like grown adult ladies. And this is what, like, normal sociopaths might draw. That is clearly an adult woman, okay? In that sketch. Now, I was thinking about that too. Thank you, Hex, because it immediately came to my mind. I don't think I've seen that yet. It's from a good episode of Always Sunny. But that's like how someone would do like a cartoonishly exaggerated card form or draw cartoon sketch boobs, you know? But this is not that, and I'm fairly sure that Donald Trump knows what breasts are supposed to look like. I'm fairly sure. And I don't think this is an accident, you know? I don't think this is an accident. I think this is a gross, intentional thing, and I'm really upset by it. I'm gonna stop showing it on screen because it bothers me so much. Okay? Picture looks like a middle school class drawing. No, because I've seen middle school class drawings, okay? And middle schoolers know that boobs are big C's, okay? Like, they know how to draw boobs, even in the abstract. This is not that. And that's kind of the point I'm trying to get at, right? Like, he drew a child on purpose as part of his secret. And again, just to bring it back to this, reporting from a long time ago, Donald Trump must not play blackjack because he wanted to hit on 17. The casino owner and future Republican nominee told Howard Stern in 1999 that his daughter Ivanka, who was 17 at the time, had made him swear not to date anyone younger than her. I have a deal with her. She's 17 and doing great, Ivanka. She made me swear to her that I would never date a girl younger than her. At 17, meaning that he had been looking at, contemplating, or actively dating somebody who was younger than Ivanka. So as she grows older, the field is getting very limited. It's gross. This man is like I'm sorry, like this man's a pedophile. I believe this man to be a pedophile. Like, all of the indicators are just absolutely awful. Here's the Los Angeles Times, okay? This is from 2016. Trump told 14-year-old girls, in a couple of years, I'll be dating you. Donald Trump appears to have a pattern of trying to charm young girls with a line about dating him. In December of 1992, wire brief in the Chicago Tribune, Trump is described as having spotted a youth choir singing Christmas carols at the Plaza Hotel in Manhattan. He asked two girls how old they were. When they said they were 14, Trump, then 46, replied, "Wow, just think, in a couple of years, I'll be dating you." And of course, folks, the defense squad, the conservative defenders have rolled out. Here's Charlie Kirk. Does the below from the Wall Street Journal look like the actual signature for the president? I don't think so at all. Fake. And yeah, it looks exactly the fucking same. I'm sorry, it looks exactly the same. Time for News Corp to open that checkbook. It's not his signature. Defamation. It's definitely his signature, guys. Like, he's signing a birthday card here.
I want to say, Jack, thank you so much for being on the right side of things and keeping us up to date. Know that you've helped a chatter out of a crisis in the last 8 months. May this tip help out. Hexahedron BWA.
Well, Hexahedron, thank you so much for the $10 dono. I really, really appreciate that. And I hope that things keep getting better for you. It's so gross. It's all so gross. And it, by the way, just as an aside, House Oversight Dems have been releasing images from that they've been getting because they got new files, some new files, not a lot, but some. Here is a new page from Epstein's birthday book. See if I can make it a little bit bigger for you guys. Pay to the order of Jeffrey Epstein, $22,500 from Donald J. Trump. Huh. So Jeffrey, showing early talents with money and women, sells fully depreciated blank to Donald Trump for $22,500. Showed early people skills too. Even though I handled the deal, I didn't get any of the money on or the girl. So they're talking about a fully depreciated woman whose name has been redacted. And I would surmise that this is about an underage girl who aged out of their interest range, i.e. turned 18 or something. You know? I don't know, guys. It's pretty fucking weird that in a book about for Jeffrey Epstein's birthday, Donald Trump is seen buying a woman. It gets so much worse. It really does, you know? Also, and I'm not gonna go over this in detail here, but I would encourage you all to read this. This is a new piece of reporting from the New York Times magazine about JPMorgan and their complicity with Jeffrey Epstein. And it is a fascinating and a long read here, but some of this is unspeakable. I know Senator Chris Van Hollen has been fighting for the full release of Jeffrey Epstein's financial records, and it's an under-talked about aspect of all of this, but we still don't know where Jeffrey Epstein's money came from. And we still also, for some weird reason, Scott Bessant has Jeffrey Epstein's financial data under his lock and key as Secretary of the Treasury, and oddly enough isn't releasing that information, and it kind of leads you to wonder why keep that a secret? but I wanted to take a look at this because a couple of things stood out, right? Basically, JPMorgan got put into a position with Jeffrey Epstein because knowledge about his, crimes got out, and JPMorgan was like, "Oh no, what if this affects the reputation of the bank? I mean, what will we tell our female employees?" But in 2011, this edifice of power and influence was at risk and crumbling. Epstein's conviction and incarceration led some of his powerful friends to back away and threaten to leave him an outcast from the financial world. His relationship with JP Morgan was therefore more important than ever. The fact that he remained a client in good standing conferred on him respectability and helped him foster new ties to corporate elites. He was determined not to blow it. Sitting in Cutler's office that autumn afternoon, Epstein assured the general counsel that he had, quote, turned over a new leaf. And he rattled off names of prominent figures who he told Cutler could vouch for his character. "Go talk to Bill Gates about me," Epstein said at one point. Afterward, Cutler sat alone, trying to figure out what to do. He kept brooding for weeks. Epstein struck him as a smooth operator. It wasn't hard to imagine him charming powerful people. Yet Cutler didn't see how he would be able to explain to his female colleagues that JP Morgan was keeping Epstein as a client, he would later say. After a second conversation with Epstein, he informed Staley that he still thought the bank should cut ties. But the recommendation came with crucial caveats. Cutler considered his primary job to be protecting JP Morgan from legal risks, and from his perspective, the Epstein relationship was a threat to the bank's reputation. He did not see evidence that Epstein was using his accounts for criminal purposes, and as a result, he would not insist that the bank expel him as a client, nor would he escalate the matter to Diamond, the chief executive, and so Epstein was allowed to stay. So basically, at this point, they knew that he was a pedophile. They knew that he had been paying women. He'd been paying women off. One of the points earlier in this, or maybe it was after, it's a very long article, is that people at JP Morgan had noticed that Epstein had taken out like $175,000 all at once, which is, there are safeguards in our financial system where if you take out that much money from a bank, all of a sudden it needs to be reported in case you are embezzling money or doing a fraud or something like that, right? It wasn't reported. And they knew he was doing some shady shit. The idea that they didn't know is just ridiculous. Epstein was on his way to becoming one of JP Morgan's most important clients. A 2003 internal report pegged his net worth at around $300 million. The report, which hasn't previously been disclosed, noted that Epstein's occupation was advising wealthy individuals like Leslie H. Wexner, the billionaire operator of brands like Victoria's Secret and The Limited, though bank documents at the time did not list any other clients. That year, JP Morgan attributed more than $8 million in fees to Epstein, making him the biggest revenue generator among investor clients in the private banking division. But the report overlooked something that, had it been taken seriously, might have dimmed the bank's enthusiasm. In 2003, Epstein withdrew more than $175,000 in cash from his JP Morgan accounts, a huge haul, even for someone with millions at the bank. Outside investigators later found that Epstein paid almost the exact amount to women that year. JP Morgan recognized that those withdrawals needed to be reported to federal regulators that monitor large cash transactions. But the bank failed to treat those withdrawals as an early warning system for itself. Indeed, JP Morgan's anti-money laundering specialist subsequently acknowledged that such withdrawals should have alerted the bank to the possibility that Epstein was committing crimes, because obviously he was committing crimes. And they had a huge financial incentive to ignore said crimes, right? Like, this was basically being done in the open. And because there was so much money involved, people just pretended not to see it. The reporting in this article, again, it's really good. It's very long and lengthy. Wittingly or not, the bank was supporting important cogs in Epstein's sex trafficking machinery. On the island, Epstein would compel teenage girls and young women to give him nude massages, have sex with him. Some of Epstein's underage victims said MC2 lured them to the United States with the prospect of paid modeling work. And in 2022, Brunel died by suicide in a French jail cell after being charged with raping teenage girls. MC2 is a modeling agency that they talk about earlier in the article, and Brunel was their talent scout for the modeling agency. There is a bunch of really good reporting that's coming out. JPMorgan had a lot of incentive to turn the other way. At least 134 accounts were opened for Epstein at the bank, his companies, and his associates. 134 accounts for Epstein, his companies, and his associates. It was a huge money generator for the bank. Not just his accounts, but the business he brought into the bank dwarfs the $8 million. I mean, it's all awful. It makes your stomach turn. But it is harrowing stuff. And I gotta say, this note to Epstein, it's damning. Do you think more info will come out? Absolutely. Absolutely. My understanding is that a lot of these victims haven't come forward before, but I also understand that many of these victims are coming together in order to compile lists of people who abused them, in order to compile accounts, in order to in order to try and make it seem safer for other victims to come out. Because the victims we know about are only the tip of the iceberg. Because many of them have children. Many of them have lives. Many of them don't want to invite like national scrutiny into their households. Many of them don't want to like be a martyr for the cause. They just want to live their life and like not be harassed by, you know, strangers who might want to kill them or their families for testifying against their god emperor Trump. The rest of the birthday book makes it obvious all those people knew what Epstein was. Exactly, Minty Treasure. It's not a secret. Much like how, you know, much like how JPMorgan knew exactly what Epstein was up to. It was an open secret. Similarly, it's an open secret who at the party was there and okay with what he did. At the very least, they were okay with what he did, if not active participants. And our president falls into one of those two categories, and I'm gonna say I'm leaning more towards the former, because I'm sorry, you don't draw a prepubescent girl form for your card for your pedophile friend by accident. You don't do this by accident, chat. He bragged about, yeah, exactly, Ranvel. He bragged about walking into teenagers' dressing rooms so he could see them naked. He bragged about sexually assaulting women on a microphone. This is not an accident. And, like, he is an active sexual predator. Not just towards adults, but also to children. And, we might not have a smoking gun on it, but I think we got some fucking bullet holes. I think we got some like shrapnel from the bullet. You know, like I think we can piece together what happened here. Actually, it's not something an FBI informant would do. Yeah, I don't think so. Actually, yeah. Look, guys. He was deep undercover. He was deep undercover. He had to molest those children. He had to do it. Look, it was like a 20-year-long operation where they were like BFFs, all right? You know, he had to compile all the evidence that wasn't used for 20 years. Deep undercover. He had to do it. Like, it's fucking nuts. And just unspeakably evil. And, I think that's all I have to say about that. The sooner this man is gone and like spends the rest of his existence in prison, the better for all mankind. And with that, like, comment, and subscribe, everybody. Are we having fun yet? That was a party down reference. Segment done. I hate this man. I hate him so much.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube is where she streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Her sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat.